In the last 4 months, I have written over 250,000 words. And when I say this to people, I often get asked, how do I write so fast? One, it doesn't feel so fast to me, and two, I use a combination of actually typing, handwriting and dictation. So hi, welcome to my channel, or welcome back depending if you've been here before. Today I want to talk to you about dictating your novel. So I already have a video on dictating your novel and I will link that for you so you can go and watch it. That talks more about the hows and the whys of dictating your novel and the benefits of it, and you know, things like it helps with your body, it helps with movement. I did talk a little bit of how to dictate. It was kind of like a full round body thing on dictation, but I also promised that I would come back and do a demonstration of dictation. So that's what I'm here for today. So whenever anybody asks me about increasing their writing speed, dictation is probably one of the #1 things that I will say to them. Have you tried dictating your novel? And I can almost guarantee that they would come out with a lot of excuses. And really what those excuses are fear of the unknown, because most of us to tell our stories type. And dictation is such a wonderful tool, but it is a skill that we have to learn. Luckily, it isn't a hard skill to learn. It can feel quite daunting when you first sit down to do it and don't have a clue as to what you're doing. I can remember my first time, and it was about a week, to be honest, of getting used to it. And now I dictate all the time, and I switch in between typing, handwriting and dictation. A lot of it depends on the time I've got, the mood I'm in, the people in my house, how busy, you know, there's a lot of things. But dictation is a really cool tool to have, and I will use it a lot if I'm driving long distances and I'm by myself. I'll just dictate my novel and get into the story, and it's great. So I just wanted to come on and give you a demonstration of dictation and just show you how actual easy it is. So when I first started dictation, I started with Dragon Dictate, which is a wonderful piece of software. As far as I'm aware, Microsoft either own it or bought Nuance, the company. I don't know, but that I believe is why it is no longer supported on the Mac, and I now write on a Mac. So I don't have Dragon on my MacBook, and if I want to use Dragon I have to go downstairs to my main PC and record down there, which is just a bit hard because I do all my other writing on my MacBook. So I needed to find a different solution because I didn't want to pay for Dragon Dictate again, and especially when it isn't supported on the Mac and you can only buy an older version. So it just seemed like a kind of a waste of purchase to me. So I actually discovered that you can dictate into Word. You can also dictate into anything actually. I write with for the words, and I use my MacBook's dictation function to dictate in my For the Words game. That's not an ideal one though to do that, because you can literally have your MacBook to dictate into anything, but what I find with the MacBook is it times out, and then if you don't notice, it will delete like your last sentence. So I think if you're going to do something like that, you need a bit more experience. But what I'm going to show you today is dictating in Word, which is what I used after Dragon, and I still do use now if I am dictating to my MacBook. And then I'm going to show you an app that I also use when I'm on the phone and on the go. And I'm just going to give you throw up the screen and show you what I'm doing. I am actually going to read from one of my books, and the reason for this is he's trying to write a story on the fly while dictating, while on camera, will not be fun for me and will not be fun for you. When I am dictating, there are a lot of pauses, there are a lot of breaks, there's a lot of silence of me thinking, because that's the beauty of dictation. You don't have to be really fast, and also sometimes I will slow down a lot when I'm dictating, just to let my brain think, and it gives you that same kind of delay from brain to fingers, of brain to mouth, if you allow yourself pauses and a slower cadence of speech. So I'm just going to read something from my Jigsaw Girl book. I've selected a section that actually has narrative in it, so you have the story being told, but it also has some dialogue, because I think of the hardest part, this switching from just narrating the story to dialogue to back again, would kind of be the tripping point. And it isn't hard, it's just the hardest part of something that's very easy. But yeah, I will just going to give you a demonstration of both, and I will put the screen up, but I have my MacBook on my knee. Just turn it on. I'm going to shove my glasses on because I am blind. You can see what I'm doing on here. Okay, so what I want to show you is up in this top right corner on Word is a thing that says dictate. You literally just have to press that. I'm not going to press it now because as I'm talking to you, it will start recording and we don't want that. So I'm going to press that, and then I'm going to just dictate and show you how I do it. Open quotes. So, question mark, close quotes. Cat looked over at Alex as she helped him gather the plates and take them to the kitchen, full stop, new line. Open quotes, so, question mark, close quotes. He cocked a brow, full stop. Their mother was watching Maddie play, comma, though she hadn't gone to sit on the sofa in the lounge, comma, where Cat had placed a glass of dried gin, M dash, her preferred drink, M dash, on the coffee table for her, full stop, new line. Open quotes, the date, comma, dummy, full stop, how was it, question mark, close quotes, new line. Alex tensed just before the inevitable, ellipsis, new line. Open quotes, you went on a date, question mark, close quotes. Olivia's shrill question had Alex sucking in a deep breath, comma, and it was a good job he was holding a stack of dirty dishes, comma, or he might just have throttled Cat, full stop. Open quotes, isn't it a little soon to be dating, question mark, close quotes, new line. Open quotes, Mum, comma, it's been 18 months, full stop, close quotes. Cat opened Tupperware boxes to store the leftovers, full stop. He can't live in limbo forever, full stop. Jenny would never have wanted that, full stop, close quotes, new line. Open quotes, your father has been gone for the best part of 10 years, comma, and I haven't dated, full stop, close quotes, new line. Cat shook her head, full stop. Open quotes, that's not the same, comma, and you know it, full stop, close quotes. It might not have been the same. It might not have been, comma, but that wasn't what was really bothering Olivia Rogan, full stop, new line. Open quotes, who are you dating, question mark, someone from work, question mark, close quotes, new line. Alex glared at his sister, comma, mouthed a big thank you to her, full stop. She just grinned in return, full stop. He'd get his revenge for this, full stop. So, as you can see, I had to speak all the punctuation for this, which is fine. When I am dictating, I've kind of got used to that. I dictate the basic things. To be honest, I wouldn't normally dictate an M dash or an ellipsis. I just did it because I was reading and that was what was in my thing. Mostly it'd just be commas and open quotes, close quotes, question marks and full stop. The other thing you'll notice from this is it doesn't like to give me a new line when I ask it to. Now, I don't know if that's a fault of my Word or if that happens all the time. It's not a problem. It used to be annoying, and what I tended to do is I used to just sit there and press enter when I wanted a new line and carry on dictating, which was alright, but it wasn't the best. But you can see it's pretty much got everything I said. So what I'm going to do before I jump into how I would edit this is show you how I dictate on an app. Dictating on my phone, this is the way I do it when I am traveling around. So I use Otter, which is basically a meeting minute taking device, but it can be used for this purpose, and I do, and it's fantastic. I'm going to read you the same piece of text to it just to show you how this records it. So you basically go into Otter and you click a new note, which is in the bottom right corner. Again, I won't show you straight off, because as soon as I do, it's going to start recording what I am saying, but you can see it. And then when you click the microphone button in the bottom right corner, you literally just start recording. So let's go back to this same piece of text and I'll show you how Otter does it. So Cat looked over at Alex as she helped him gather the plates and take them into the kitchen. So he cocked a brow. Their mother was watching Maddie play, though she hadn't gone to sit on the sofa in the lounge where Cat had placed a glass of dried gin, her preferred drink, on the coffee table. The date, dummy, how was it? Alex tensed just before the inevitable. You went on a date? Olivia's shrill question had Alex sucking in a deep breath. And it was a good job he was holding a stack of dirty dishes, or he might have throttled Cat. Isn't it a little too soon to be dating? Mum, it's been 18 months. Cat opened Tupperware boxes to store the leftovers. He can't live in limbo forever. Jenny would never have wanted that. Your father has been gone for the best part of 10 years and I haven't dated. Cat shook her head. That's not the same, and you know it. It might not have been the same, but that wasn't what was really bothering Olivia Rogan. Who are you dating? Someone from work? Alex glared at his sister, mouthed a big thank you to her. She just grinned in return. He'd get his revenge for this. So the difference you would notice on that one is I did not speak any of the punctuation whatsoever. Didn't do new line, didn't open quotes. I literally just dictated my story exactly the same way you would when you're writing. You don't notice that you put the punctuation in, and it's not, the punctuation isn't a bad thing. On my MacBook I have dictated so much now. The punctuation gets dictated so easily. It's exactly the same as when you're actually typing. you put that punctuation in without even thinking about it. So it becomes the same. And what you might also notice on the screen is, I will just show you. So when you open it up, so if I go back, when you open up the new note, you click transcript and it has it as speaker 1. Sometimes if I have breaks, it will divide into speaker 1 and speaker 2. So there's another difference with this. One is they're not speaking the punctuation, and 2, Word will time out. It will only record your dictation for so long. If you pause, it will time out, and if you actually just carry on talking the whole time, it will eventually turn itself off again and you have to keep restarting it. What I like with Otter is I can press record, close my phone and put it in a dock and just dictate to it. That is the handy one for driving. Now I have the paid version, and there isn't much difference between the paid and the free version, to be honest. The free version gives you up to 30 minutes per session recording, and the paid version lets you go over. And because I do often do long drives, it means that if I don't have to mess around, I can literally just leave this recording in the dock in the car, and I'm not worrying about having to restart anything, because obviously you're not allowed to be on your phone when you're driving. So, and it's not safe. So yeah, that is the two that I use. And I do use both of them. I do still use words, just Otter is my preferred one, and it's really good on the go, especially if it's busy in my house. I can just go out into the car, I can go and park in the supermarket car park, I can go and park at the park, I can literally just sit outside my house in the car and dictate into my phone. So that is both of those ways of dictating. They're both great, play with both. You can, I don't know if you can get Otter on the Android, I believe you can. I have iPhone, so yeah. The other thing I like about this is, I'll show you, you can export your file. So you just click export, and the thing it says here is export audio and text. So this is another benefit of Otter over Word and other dictation software, is it actually records the audio. So if you speak too fast or you mumble, and sometimes the dictation software puts up a sentence but you're like, I have no idea what that is meant to be, you can actually go and listen to the recording so you can hear what you actually said. And I assume that you understand what you said. So on this, you would go to export text, and then it's got options. I just put it to doc and then continue, and you can literally email it to yourself as a clump of text. What I do when I've got my dictated text is I use the power of AI. So I will show you what I do. So I use Claude. I have previously used ChatGPT. Both work fantastic. I imagine whatever software you want to use is good enough. This is just my preferred one at the moment. This is my Claude screen. So I will literally do this. So I will literally put in a prompt that I will tell it I am dictating. I will tell it that it's a fiction novel that I want it to fix, and that I need it to structure it for me and not to edit my words, because it will come along and edit your words. And then I tell it I'm going to paste the text in next so that it will wait for me. So I do actually have the free version, the paid version, but I'm just using the free version to show you. It is pretty good as it is. So let's put this in. So this is the word dictation that I used before. And let's put that into Claude. So as you can see, it's edited as I asked it to. It's kept my words. It's put the em dashes in. It's pretty accurate, to be honest, and I'm happy with that. I would change some things, like it's spelt her name wrong. It's spelt with a K, but that's fine. It's put 18 instead of spelling the word 18. But there's very little to edit to get it to how I actually wrote it. Actually, you know, should be written. So that is fantastic. It saves so much time. I will show you the Otter version now, because that's the Word one. So you just go in here and open your document, or you could email it to yourself like I've said. You go to the transcript and it's saved as a whole block. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it saves it separate, but it's the same process. So I would literally copy that, come back into Claude, ask it to just please do the same. That's only because I'm literally doing 2. Press enter. So actually this one has spelt the name correctly. That's just the different systems picking up the spelling. You could actually just ask Claude to how to, you know, if you've got funny spelt names, you could ask it in the prompt that please make sure you spell cat with a K. I didn't do that, but as you can see, Otter. Now, if you remember with Otter, I did not speak any of the punctuation at all, not even a full stop or a new line. And it has literally put them all in for me. It hasn't put the em dashes in, and I could put them in if I wanted to, but it's picked up everything fantastic, and that's without me speaking the punctuation. And I'm not going to sit here and match it, but I bet they're probably really good word for word. And so yeah, that is my process for dictation. It's not hard or anything like that. The one thing I do like about Otter is you can pause for a very long time and it won't turn off, whereas Word will turn off. Both of them you can talk slowly, especially if you need to think, and it's very cool. So yeah, I do have a third part in my system which I will show you. So if dictation for you is something you want to get into as an accessibility thing, let me show you this little trick. It's not really anything to do with dictation, but it is also part of my process. So if I go back and copy my dictated text, I use something called Speechify, and basically I use something called Speechify, and basically I will paste in my text and then ask it to read it to me. And this is just to make sure that everything is correct. I will use Speechify to read my work back to me. No reason, it's just an ease sometimes, and it can spot the typo. So I just thought I'd add this on here to just show you. I might do a video showing you the tools that I use within my writing. I do use a lot of AI tools, so I'm very sorry if you are kind of anti-AI. I don't use AI to write my books, but I do use it to assist me in the things I need to do to get my books written, and I would happily show you the systems that I use. This is one of them, and I'm just adding it onto the end of the dictation, which I would normally do to get it to read it back to me. But it's handy if you're having physical issues, and the reason you're dictating is because maybe you've got a sore back or carpal tunnel syndrome or anything. You know, I had a frozen shoulder once, which is really agony, so I just thought I'd show you this. But this is how it does.
Kat looked over at Alex as she helped him gather the plates and take them into the kitchen. So, he cocked a brow. Their mother was watching Maddie play, though she hadn't gone to sit on the sofa in the lounge where Kat had placed a glass of dry gin, her preferred drink, on the coffee table. The date, dummy, how was it? Alex tensed just before the inevitable. You went on a D-date. Olivia's shrill question had Alex sucking in a deep breath, and it was a good job he was holding a stack of dirty dishes. Or he might have throttled Kat. Isn't it a little too soon to be dating? Mom, it's been 18 months. Kat opened Tupperware boxes to store the leftovers. He can't live in limbo forever. Jenny would never have wanted that.
I won't make you listen to all of that, but as you can see, that text that came from my dictation was pretty accurate to what I actually read to it. So, and that was the Otter one. So that is my two systems. It was pretty accurate to what I said, and both Word and Otter did fantastic, if you noticed. And I really hope these demonstrations have helped you, because I really would love people to be able to have dictation as a tool that they can use in their writing system, rather than something that they get afraid to use, because it is fantastic and it has been a game changer. I wouldn't say it's for everybody, but what I always say to people, and I said it in my other video, is if you would really like to get into dictation, spend a week or so, an hour a day, reading your work into one of these systems to get into dictation. And sometimes if I'm not flowing when I'm writing, even now, I will read the last chapter or the last page that I wrote to my dictation system, whether I'm using Otter or Word, just to get me back into that correct flow, because it can be a little bit of a brain switch, but we had to learn how to type. You can learn how to dictate, and I hope this has shown you a system that you can use and how to do it. If you've got any questions, put them down below and I'll try my best to answer them. fun. Like, I've been dictating for a few years, so hopefully I have some experience. If there's any other videos on dictation that you would like me to make to show you something, let me know that and I will try my best to make that video. But other than that, yeah, give dictation a go and let me know how you get on with it, because I'd love to hear. Like I say, I find it fantastic. But I'm gonna head off now. I do say in every video that I have a little writer's group that I'm trying to create, so if you would like to come along and join me in there, I will put the link down below. Also, feel free to join my mailing list, which is down below. I don't email that often, in fact probably not as often as I should do, but it gives you access to my resource library where I have some free downloads for you that you can just get hold of. And yeah, and other than that, smash the notification bell, hit subscribe and give me a good thumbs up if this was helpful. But until then, I will see you next time.